Hello, and welcome back. It is once again time for some Final Fantasy XIV. Last we left off, we had finished Shadowbringers. We beat up Emmett Selk. We saved the stars. And then we, at least, went back to the source. And our friends, however, are still stuck on the first. At least their ethereal being is stuck on the first. Their physical bodies are still sitting here in the source, waiting for their ethereal beings to come back. Still trying to figure out how to do that, though. To undo this stuff that Grahatia did on accident. But let's switch on over. Have to change this to there you go. I look to capture Final Fantasy XIV and transition. Hello. Here we are. Gotta talk to Tataru here. Tataru seems eager to make up for lost time. I'm sure she is.
Chun! Gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest?
Oops. Not so much as 40 winks, truth be told. More than my fill. Sure.
Well, you've certainly earned it. Not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gemilt Dark, and that the Empire's shown no sign of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the first?
Sure.
Great! Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Philamen to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you at the terrace on the terrace at the House of Splendors.
Sounds good. Also preemptively in case of any party activities. So the House of Splendors, huh? Oh, it's just like right outside. That's a pretty outfit. So, off stream I haven't done much. I did do the Christmas event, got my Santa outfit, and then right on the terrace. And then I've done a couple more of the DPS role quests. Currently on the level 76 one, which would be the last one that I could do currently, because my Reaper is level 76. So I'd have to level him up a bit more. Of course, my Dark Knight is only level 72, so I won't be able to do much tank quests. But hello, Flamen.
June! My, it has been too long. Tataru did mention that I would be joining you, did she not?
Yep. What's over the music? Sounding all ominous.
Thank you. Words cannot well express how I have longed to know more of the first. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly.
Yeah, Minfilia did kind of sacrifice her whole being to save it, huh?
And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next Oracle? This girl who Thancred named Reen? To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Junasia, might I ask a favor of you when next you return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot? To tell her thank you.
Nods.
And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end.
Begging your pardon, but could I have a word?
Oh, but could I have a word? Rio, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper.
I wish. Nay, I've not had a peep out of him. And it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up.
But what if they catch you? There must be another way.
Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through Gimilt now the fighting's died down. Cause no, there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting round here twiddling me thumbs. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... I nearly forgot. Kryle's at the Stones and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine them again when I left.
We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important.
Yeah. Best head back, check on our friends' bodies. I love that Phoenix mount. It's beautiful.
It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad.
You're here. Good.
Yes.
What's going on, Kryle?
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health.
That's good.
For the present, at least.
What do you mean by that? Squint.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed.
What?
Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
That's, I think, the exact order in which they were sucked away and thus spent more time in the first than others.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Yeah.
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
Yeah.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good.
Yeah.
Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Indeed. Leave it to me.
Thank you.
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
True, but I also have access to the first.
You stated
so maybe...
in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
yeah, that was his plan.
Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch.
Well, duh. He's the one who summoned him.
Pray return to the first and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Hopefully. And hopefully I'll have good news to share upon my return. Yep. Back to the ocular. Oh, there. Sprint. Oh yes, and there are a bunch of like, as the game told us before, a bunch of new little plus quests that. Oh. I cross the rift, see what the weather's like for myself, and come back and share my knowledge with these mortals by whispering to them in their dreams. Do the same for the Skywatchers on the other side, too. Everyone would have all the answers, and they wouldn't even know how they'd got them. Wouldn't that be grand? Your silence is all the approval I need. Off I go! Wait, hold it. Due to Lorfeo meddling with the dreams of Skywatchers in the Source and the First, Skywatchers may now provide forecasts for every region regardless of their location. Oh, okay. Sure, cool. I don't ever use that, so sure. Basically, just people will be able to tell me what the weather's going to be like in any region, no matter whether it's the Source or the First. Cool.
Ah, Junosia, you are returned. I hope your time in the Source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on.
My friends. Yeah.
Their corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. Really? If you have returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told.
Yeah. Why can't you just unsummon them? Or send them back? Or, I don't know, something. You're the one who summoned them here. Surely you have some way of sending them back. Other than killing yourself. Alicia has a lot to say, it seems. Same with Alphino and Ishtola.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yeah, just feel like I should turn up the game a little bit. Game volume.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryl's findings.
So y'all are unstable, and you would likely die if you stay here, so we need to find a solution. Sooner the better.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Well, yeah, your soul was ripped from your body.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy.
And by no means a gifted mage. Well, yeah, you nabbed the wrong person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. 5 times.
The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the First. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state.
Yeah.
I would not soon throw my life away. Not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Yeah.
Oh. What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul, but her personal effects besides.
Yeah. I can just jump back and forth whenever I want.
This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Yeah?
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
Yep, these are mine. These are my souls.
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change, but vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Yeah. That's why, there's still carts that go from town to town with all these, like, goods for merchants to sell. Can't just teleport them over, because you'll probably lose a lot of your
Milady
merchandise.
has the right of it. The requisite fixity
not
of
all.
belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured.
If we get 5 aurites, or auricite, or whatever it's called.
White auricite would,
Yeah.
I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease.
So we just need 5 white auricite.
We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
I mean, we did.
A worthy
Yeah.
question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Hey, King Titania, I need to talk to this old recluse over here. Could you help me out? That's all I gotta do. Should be easy. They can't say no to King Titania, right? So now, hold up. We got ourselves a little weapon coffer. This is item level 500. In comparison, our item level 430 weapon has much lower vitality, much lower mind. Oh, this one doesn't have any piety. It does have way more determination, and it has critical hit instead of piety. Also, plus 7 more damage. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna equip it. Let's just see. Whoops. This one. Okay. They look kinda eh. So I will go ahead and I don't think I've got a glamour plate for it. I have to just glamour this, right? Ooh, but do I even have that? I don't have those pendulums on me. They're in thing. Oh well. That'll be fine for now, I guess. A grand adventure. Waste no time in seeking help for your stranded comrades. The Grand Cosmos, that is, the place we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white orisite. By thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the new Mo consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Yeah. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. Big graceful bow from Urianger. Sullen in Lakeland. Looks like Fort Job is about the closest we can get by teleporting. Luckily, we can fly here. Woo! Ooh, I haven't... Apparently I have not, completed the map for this area. We'll do that real quick. So much we haven't discovered. But since we can fly, it won't take long to fill out the map. We could really fly up high in these expansion areas. yep, this will be the last little bit here. Then we can head on over to Sullen. Mapping the realm, Lakeland. Battle music. Also, boy, is it foggy over here in Lakeland. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, get that going. I have arrived. Hello. I don't really need your dinky little boat, but sure. Interesting choice of music. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host's familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. Sorry, but are we not here to petition for assistance? You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As would any true seeker of knowledge. And there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us, if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Sure. Weapons drawn it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all, rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when Genasi is around. What exactly are you implying? She averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume her has been extinguished. 'Tis only natural that we be pleased to see her. Yes, well, you will have plenty of time to celebrate for her good health after we've finished here. Of course. Then let us proceed to the palace. The Grand Cosmos now accessible. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. There we go. Yep, guess that's our team. Huh? Unable to commence duty, insufficient item. What? I need an item level of 470. Looks like. Mine's or needs 430 average item level. with a maximum of 470, and I'm at 428. You gotta be kidding me, dude. Well, you know, if the game would actually give me some healer gear from the raids, or from the dungeons that we've been doing, then maybe I'd have a high enough item level. Game. Seriously. Look at this, a level 60 choker. Other than that, I've got currently a level 70 choker. Level 70, I'm level 80 now. I haven't gotten any jewelry since 73 for this bracelet. I mean, all of my equipment that I got from my quests are all level 80. You know, clothing and weapon, or armor and weapon. But all the jewelry, I never get. I just keep getting all this, like, slaying and fending and aiming and fending and aiming. Just every single item. Wait, what's this? An actual healing piece of gear? Let's try out. No. Comparison. I just wanted to see. I mean, it's 12 more item level than my previous one. A bit more vitality, more mind. Spell speed and piety. Yeah, I'll take that. For sure. Gives me 1 item average level. Average item level. Let's see. Maybe there's a ring that I can wear that's a little... No, it's still... Let me just double check. This one's 355. I've got 385 and 395 on. So yeah, no, that's not. Just got fending, casting, slaying, fending, slaying, aiming, casting, slaying. It's like, come on, dude. Especially these two, which are both level 80, but they're fending and casting, so I can't use them. It's so stupid. They even gave me an item level 500 weapon, and that wasn't enough to get me high enough. Because of this 385 and 395, 385. These two are really dragging me down. Well, I guess we have to go to a shop of some kind. The market. We'll just go to Lynn's, actually, hold up. I can return for free. I'll just go to the market. See what I can get for a necklace. Ametrine Choker of Healing would be 515. Wow. Let's comparison that just to see. Obviously way more vitality and mind and piety. Critical instead of determination, but yeah, sure. 75,000. It's expensive. But yeah. Take the choker. Boom, bumped up to 440 just from that. And you know what? Let's find a ring as well while we're here. Ametrine. Way more vitality and mind. Critical hit instead of determination. Spell speed instead of piety, but still. Yeah, I'll take that. I do like spell speed. How much is it? Only 15. Yeah. Do I want a second one? Hold on. Compared to this, because it is 515 instead of 395, and I'll take that for sure. Again, missing out on piety, but I am getting a ton of spell speed. And the main thing is I'm getting way more item level. Look at that, 461 now. Much better. Alright, now we gotta go flying all the way back to that stupid dock. Way far away from any Etherite. And now it's raining. Pouring rain. Oh. You know, Fayeul's gonna be real mad when she finds out we didn't call on her to help us with what we're doing right now. Now we can register. Finally. Light party.
Put your faith in the light.
Look at the Exarch's glowing weapons. Hello. Why are you doing this, bro? Woo! Grand Cosmos. Hello, sir. Let's get that courtesy going. This place at once, and I'll be gone with you. I think we're good. We'll stick around. Woo! Just that easy. Ooh, this is a grand room here. Yes, melt their health bars. Destroy. Woo. Some animated little runes. Swish, 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 swish. The cross of blades.
So many of them.
Oh my goodness. You are... Are you using any of your buffs, dude? Any of your defenses? Like, come on. His health is melting. Good. Onwards. Chivalric Spear. Ah. Can't see their health bars, they're too tall. There we go. If you insist on making a mess of my palace, you leave me no choice. Oh, crap. I realized we were going to do that. I thought they were just going to head for that spot. The spots on the floor.
fall. We fall.
Let's give them a show!
Nope. Yep. Crap. Whoa! Whoa! That did so much damage. What? Ugh. All because I got slowed, man. Sucks. It almost killed him too. But just one hit and I'm dead. Really? Ridiculous. We fall, we fall. Get hit by that, apparently that just instantly killed. Really?
This is going to leave a mark!
What are you doing? Crap. No! Come on, dude. Juggling so many things. Didn't see it in time. Really? It's so stupid that just instantly kills you. One mistake and you're just dead and you gotta run all the way back. All 24,000 of my health just gone. I mean, I know I'm not a tank, but like, seriously, one attack? Wasn't even a tank buster. just a regular AoE. It just kills you in one hit.
I'm with you.
What? That was not. Anyway,
It's going to leave a mark.
ain't no way. Oh, so Stola only takes half her health in damage from that, but I take all of my health, huh? She's just a caster. It's not fair, man. There. Wow. Aiming! See, like, what is this? They never give me anything for healing. How foolish. Dude, this really feels like a Disney castle. With all the animated rooms and this massive garden here. Why were they ever on, Stola? Tested. See? The game never gives me any healing gear, despite the fact that I'm playing healer with a team of NPCs, which means no one else needs this stuff. No one in this party needs it. Don't get it. We really be struggling out here, bro.
Away with you!
Away with you. Let me guess, not healing gear, right? Oh, look! An actual choker of healing! For once. It's a Christmas miracle. Oop. My goodness, are you using any defensive exert? Like, come on, your health is melting. There we go. None in sooth, these creatures have stuff and things. Huh? Huh? What? Oh, okay. I did not know what was going on. Oh my goodness. He stole it. Trying to kill us. That was the one I was going. Oh boy.
This is going to leave a mark.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
I'm with you.
What? No. Crap. I thought he wasn't marked. Just to tell you. Aiming again. And mark my words, you will pay for this. Will we pay for this though? Don't notice me. Greco statue. Ba, 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 ba. Who's shouting, bah? Is that the Exarch? Or is that the Paraporxes? I think it's him.
Light's immortal heat, my call.
Why are they all attacking me? What the crap, dude? I'm a healer. Not the tank.
Away with you!
Oh, your folly.
My king's judgment, see them fall. Oh boy. Hello? There you go. Again, why were they on, Y'shtola? And you're only taking them off now? Ridiculous line.
This is going to leave a mark.
Oh, I'm getting serious now. You should never not be serious, Y'shtola. We're fighting for our lives here. We get piety, eh? There's a useful materia. The Chamber of Courtly Love. Hello. Weakly fingers.
You have sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus, our guests yet want for company. Insatiable flame, Lucas.
Bow, 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 bow. The Divine Sphere. Mapping the realm. We believe we have not only their curiosity, but their attention as well. Okay, could you go? You're the tank. You're supposed to take the aggro. Oh! Right! Bro! Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Well, shoot. There's nothing for me to take. Oh. Tapestry, drapery. Sure. There. Whew. Yeah. We fall. Sure do. Huh? Oh, I had the last one, yeah. So I'm the last one to take a hit from this guy.
This is going to leave a mark.
Which side? Okay. See, this time, I actually know what that attack is supposed to do. Ooh. Oh boy, he's gonna set things on fire again.
I will not hold back.
Set us on fire. Also, you shouldn't hold back, Y'shtola. You should never hold back. This is a boss fight. Why would you hold back? Friends are being targeted. So am I.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
I should hope so. Here we go again. Yes. Woo. We won. Very good. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Casting again.
Yeah.
So annoying.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Huh? Mr. Wiggly Fingers, who somehow was able to clap? What?
Beckloak, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain.
No, you should complain.
But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
Oh my goodness, you.
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
You.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
Uh-huh.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
Gosh dang it, Alphino.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
Ah.
Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
We won't lie down and accept defeat. Well, now they got me doing it.
Of all the visitors I could possibly have, they're even more stubborn than I am.
Oh. No.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Uh-huh.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
And we don't have that here in an empty castle with just us? There's more people at the Crystarium, Exarch Grahatia. Like, what? Huh? Do you not see this empty room here in this empty castle out in the middle of nowhere? Where no one goes because they'll be killed by this man's familiars? No. We should go back to the Crystarium where there's thousands of people, because this requires absolute secrecy. What? You could have come up with so many other ways to say, hey, let's head back to the Crystarium. So many other reasons, but secrecy? Nah, fam. I ain't buying it. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Beklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the Numo with us. Had he not, Beklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guest waiting would only add insult to injury. You may now enter the Grand Cosmos with a party of NPC avatars. To make use of this feature, open the Trust interface located under Duty in the main menu. Look at that. They are of insufficient level for that. Still, interesting. So then how would I level them up if I can't? Also, I believe if you level them up, you can get these glamours for them, which is like different outfits. Usually, I believe they're past outfits. We mustn't dally here any longer, Tunacia. If Beklug is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Yes, so let's go. Why are you standing around here? I was waiting on you, Alphino. Oh, you know what? I wonder if all these like plus quests around here are probably going to unlock duties that you can do using the trust system in order to level up your party of NPCs. That's probably how it works. Yes, I have business here. Let me in.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing,
Oh yeah.
but that you hail from another world as well?
Yep.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own.
Yeah.
And your soul is the densest of them all.
As
I
I
got a
said
dense
before,
soul.
were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
Well then.
As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
Like
You will
helping them
help us
return?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my
course.
fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Yeah. That's me, forever off in the field doing other people's work for them. Because they can't be bothered.
You have spun quite a tale. But tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world?
Oh yes, shove their souls into white auracite. And then I take them with me.
White auracite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there's no telling what may happen to their souls within the auracite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes. The soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim.
Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail?
In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home.
Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light.
Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals?
Why? Do you think they might be able to help them?
I might, or might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand.
Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering.
It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion.
Well, I see no need for us all to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite auracite. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beklug as necessary? I guess so. Let us make for Amareng, then. Indeed. Ah.
The Journey's Head.
Yeah, I just remembered why Thancred isn't around right now. And remembered it because we're here in Amarang, right next to like that wall of light that was here. The wall of light's gone, and now there's just this wasteland of light, ether, desert place all around, basically, all around out here. Just wasteland. And Reen decided she wanted to go and explore to try and see what's out there, since eventually, you know, people are gonna have to start rebuilding and try to make this whole place livable instead of just this tiny little section of the world. And of course, Thancred's like, I'll go with you. Don't worry. So that's where he's at right now. All indisposed and whatnot. Never mind the fact that he's the one that's most at risk of dying by sticking around out here.
So this is Halric, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. Toward stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin-eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobet. Then for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it. But for their sakes, I will break that oath. It's not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief.
Hey, Todden. Here's a tonic. We have him. Stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Soul tonic. Huh? What is this? Warmth. I feel in my chest. Well, that one seemed to do something. Fine. I feel warm, and my legs, they don't feel as heavy. That's good. So it kind of works on some, but I guess if they're too far gone, it doesn't really do much.
Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by a tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had the chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them, we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. That I was once a mage of the royal court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hoped to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. Now you have a chance to redeem yourself. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. But let us return to the task at hand. Finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents we must be procured, or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters, the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean? The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Guys, I'm best friends with King Titania. I could just say, hey, can I have a lantern enchanted with pixie magic? And she'd be like, of course!
course, my little sapling. Anything for you. You don't need to go there, guys. I can... Why does the game never let me call on King Titania? She's always complaining that I never call her enough. And it's because the game never lets me call her. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the Numo of Pliny. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right. Let's get this over with, shall we? So I'm on the clay then? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Purest of clays. Clay from our meringue would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? Could ask the miners twine. Ah, yes! They will be able to point you in the right direction, I am sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. Sure, I'm gonna go speak with Magnus. I need some super high quality clay. You know of any that I could have? Or could go get?
Junosia! Well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just the moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Navatharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter, had we not had a visit from Master Kai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along.
Clever man, that Kynos. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting a giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley! But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it.
Claire's.
You're entitled to your dreams, Jake, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Kai was just being polite. And something tells me Janosia here didn't come all the way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend?
Some super clay.
I see. And this Familia requires clay from our meringue.
Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us.
Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biren mines to make adobe bricks. Place is swimming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there.
If I'm after that good. It's off to this Mount Biren. I also like using that doesn't slow me down, so I can do it while I'm running or flying. Would you back off? Or a Sharkos, whatever. Bro, you can't kill me. You literally cannot kill me. I'm a healer. 1. Aha. 2. 3. Oh boy. Can't do anything to me. My attacks heal me. Wait a minute. I can just teleport there. Phoenix and all. No, I didn't.
The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it?
Sure do.
Wonderful! We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it would be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beck, look, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Norvrant more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Genosia?
She's the best woman for the job. Very few. But if aught should go awry, I'll see what I can do. Absolutely.
I'll give it my all for Halric, for Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alishay shall be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay?
Wait, that chunk of
Very
clay.
good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a Porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A Porksy. I think I know what you mean.
We fought them, Alijay. We fought them in this guy's castle. Like
There
half
we
an
are.
hour ago.
How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative.
Alfredo.
There's no denying that.
My
Yes,
character.
yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Really?
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Adorable. When they're not
bad for a first attempt.
when they're not eating us alive. Quite adorable.
Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
He's on his feet. That's something.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul.
Yeah.
You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now.
Are you gonna name it after that lady who was looking after all these people before?
Go, Angelo!
Nope, Angelo. Okay. That's something. More than just staring blankly and mumble occasionally. Actually looking around.
Mother, I...
Words, too. Aw. Well, did something.
How is he, Becklug? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation,
thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beklug said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gabu! Yeah, the little goblin guy. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Hulrich's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? He's a little goblin guy. I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beklug and see if you can make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, I found you! Oh, hey. Kai Shi? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Kai's beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it you'll be returning to the Crystarium alone. Or I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beklug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore's at stake. What? What do they need us for? Lady Kai's up in the parlor. Best not keep her waiting, eh? I guess not. Nowhere to turn, supposedly. Which would be about halfway through 5.1. We got a ways to go. Ah, there you go.
Well, naught here seems to be out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Kai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress.
Guess we will do that. Pacing, staring off in the distance, sighing. But this doesn't sound terribly important. Julia Kai. Oh, the fate of Yulmore is at stake. Is it, though?
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Is it something to do with her husband? Maybe?
Alone? What of Master Chai?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
That's
What?
odd.
What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
Yeah. Did he run away?
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
Makes sense.
After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well,
Makes
given
sense.
the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
Yeah?
But even
Well-
before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice.
Except for when he completely decides, oh no, I'm not good enough for this. I can't do this. And you have to convince him that he can.
I told him as much when his victory was first announced.
Yeah.
But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee?
I believe it.
Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
Are you sure about that, Alphino? He seemed very ready to abandon his duties building the Talos right at the beginning, and I had to really try to convince him that no, you can do this.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
Oh, I think he ran. Sorry, but I think he's fled. I mean, that's honestly.
Nay, my friend. The one thing he has not done is flee. Of that I am convinced.
Okay.
Through the most testing of times, he has ever remained at Lady Chai's side, placing her happiness before his own. He would not abandon her now.
Sure.
Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Whatever you say, Alphino.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Well, we are halfway through 5.1. And let's see, there's 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.55, and then Endwalker. So 5.55 is 3 quests. Much shorter in number of quests than the other updates.
It makes no sense for Master Kai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or, failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on.
Sure. Wow. Mawan?
Master Kai? Why, yes, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in rather dour mood. Concerned about Yulmor's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Vorthary's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need for money, it's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Kai that the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yulmor, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after.
Your exchange with Mawan has taught you about the stagnant state of business in Yulmor. Yeah. And also that he spoke with her and then took his leave. And he does seem to be running around being all like, hey, we need this, we need that. Anyway, you can help. Anyway, you can help. Just talking to a bunch of different peoples. Okay, it's saying that there's stairs. Oh, you know what? The top of the staircase is probably over here, and it circles around there. Yep. The canopy. The understory. Yeah, I might swap to Ninja real quick, just because Ninja has a higher movement speed, just a little bit faster. Just for running around this town.
Looking for Master Kai, are you? Is something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concerns over the city's defenses, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Vorthary, and finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting,
I proposed replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gatetown. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Kalusia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. The perilous state of Yulmore's defenses.
Yeah, and the fact that Master Kai went outside. Why are you overlooking the parts that we're actually here searching for?
What? Yep.
Also, I do love the front flip when you jump with your weapons out as a ninja.
I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor buggers lately come from Right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. And you can be sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive. They want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. Looked like he was headed for Gatetown when I saw him.
The poor living conditions. Yes, among other things, like where he went next. And of course, the Naruto running. So ridiculous. Yeah. Isn't one of these like a teleport thing? Move quickly to the specified. Yeah. Whoops. Takes a minute before it comes back, but every bit helps. Gatetown. Hello. Whale's Breach. Lyric. Oh, whoops. Oh, hey, Lyric. Whoops. Wrong quest.
This is Miss Olvara, the wet nurse who raised me for practically the entirety of my childhood.
This is not what I meant. Whoops. Yep.
Why, you've grown into such a strapping young man, but can't imagine you came to Gatetown just to pay me a visit, my little Reek.
Not in front of her, if you please. But to answer your question, we did in fact come to see you. There were stories you told me as a child of a courageous hunter. Was that hunter perchance the warrior of light, Renda Ray?
Of all the reasons you could have had. Aye, those stories were of Renda Ray, the greatest bounty hunter of her day, the legend so many aspired to become. Less so after the flood. It was still fresh in everyone's minds when I was younger, and for all the good they had done in life, none could deny the chaos they sowed in death as sin-eaters. But despite all of that, me and my mates still looked up to her. We knew all her feats and swore to preserve them, in secret if need be, that she might inspire future generations as she had ours. So years and years later, when you wanted to hear tales of adventure and heroism, I couldn't help but share with you the ones nearest and dearest to my heart.
I only wish I hadn't had to change all the names.
Then it's true. The hero who I looked up to as a child, whose tales of daring do drove me to take up the bow as you had, to pester you for training that I might become a bounty hunter. It was her. Miss Olvara, Genosio and I are hunting Andrea. We believe that one of the stories you shared with me may help guide our search. Namely, the one about the great horned beast that killed her friends. Will you tell it to me again?
Wicked White, is that? Oh, my little Reek. Very well. Even as a young hunter, Renda Ray, incredible hearing. Renda Ray's incredible hearing was unparalleled. She could track her quarry through a forest by the most minute sounds of their passing. From miles away, even, by some accounts. Even the most subtle and stealthy beasts never eluded her for long. A misplaced foot, a snapped branch. Eventually, Renda Ray would know, and her aim was always good and true. As she grew older and honed her skills further, she set her eyes on bigger prizes. She became a hunter of notorious marks, and together with her comrades earned fame and fortune.
But this particular girl can shout really loud. And her hearing became a weakness.
As their reputations swelled, so too did their egos. Only the most dangerous game would suffice, and so they resolved to hunt the scourge of Norvrant, the devourer of souls, Balam Queets. But what Renda Ray did not realize was that her greatest strength would prove her undoing. For when she faced Balam Queets, the beast roared with such force that it brought her to her knees. Helpless, she could only watch as it claimed the lives of her beloved comrades and fled. After burying the hunters and vowing that she would one day avenge them, she took to the road once more. She met Ardbert and his fellow warriors of light, and for a time she accompanied the fledgling heroes on their adventures. To them, she was a breath of fresh air, a vibrant young woman who savored every moment and found joy in the simple pleasures. They knew not of her fallen friends or how their deaths weighed heavy upon her still. The party wandered the realm, performing many great deeds and growing ever stronger, as did Renda Ray. While in Kalusha, she even devised a means to defend against the powerful roar that had been her downfall that fateful day. And then, while engaged in an adventure in Raktika, a rumor reached Renda Ray's ears. Balam Queets, Scourge of Norvrant, Devourer of Souls, had been spotted wandering the Sitia swamps. 'Twas a golden opportunity, but to seize it would be to face the beast alone. She could not wait for Ardbert and the others, nor could she ask that they forsake their sworn duty. But perhaps it was just as well, for the memory of her defeat still haunted her. The courageous hunter had allowed a single fear to take root in her heart, the fear of losing her new companions as she had her old. So it was that Renda Ray ventured forth in secret, resolved to slay her hated foe, Balam Queets, alone. And with all her strength and guile, the legendary hunter did just that. Vengeance claimed, she rejoined Ardbert and the others, and never spoke of the terrible battle twixt her and the dread beast. From that day forward, she was Renda Ray, the warrior of light, and the deeds of her and her comrades will be celebrated forevermore.
It's strange to think that the woman I admired when I was so young would become the Sin Eater I swore to slay.
What she became doesn't change who she was. Even if the tales were a little embellished over the years, they were rooted in truth. She was and will always be a hero to me, and to you, I hope.
Thank you, Miss Olvara, for everything. I promise I will visit you again soon. So, Genosia, remember that theory I told you before about the virtues being driven by powerful memories? If Andrea is reenacting the journey leading up to her confrontation with Balamquitz, the one that took her from Amarang to Colusia, then her next destination must be...
The Raktika Greatwood, yeah? Right?
Right! That was where she laid low the beast at last, in the City of Swamps, to be precise. And so that is where we shall go. Let us away.
Now listen, Reek. There's an awful lot of people who don't know about Renderay, or the world, for that matter. So wherever you go and whatever you see, remember not to take it at face value. Don't just accept what others tell you as good and true. Listen to your heart and decide for yourself. And be safe. Genosia, was it? It is such a pleasure to meet a friend of Reek's. His parents never hesitated to provide him with all the wealth and opportunities they could. But when it came to love and support, well, all I can say is that it is a miracle that boy turned out as well as he did. One can never have too many friends, or too much support. That goes for you, too, as well, I should think.
Uh-huh. Alright, well. That was not who I was intending to talk to. Where? Alphino? What?
That's not Gate Town. You lied to me? Don't mind me, just flipping through the streets.
There you are. Of course, I have to switch back to Sage, who has way more health.
Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Kai's whereabouts?
I have learned 3 clues. In fact, he was headed to Gate Town. He was heading out around.
He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Ulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Ulmore, I mean, not the bee.
Perhaps, but the question remains. Where did he go after leaving the city? He went to Gate Town. And then out and around.
Why don't we go and talk to people around Gate Town?
All we know for certain is that Master Kai has shown great concern not only for Ulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical then that, having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without.
Yes, and that's where he headed.
Genosia, if you would go and make inquiries in Right, I shall go likewise in Solitude. Still Tide. Gate Town, I leave to you, Kaisha. Fair enough. Where should we meet when we've finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to me to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then. But if not, we will be well situated to continue our search.
Alright. Speak with Castelot in right, which does have an aetheryte, thankfully. That was weird. Character was just standing there instead of like floating like they should have been.
No, the name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistel gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of Mule and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Vorthree thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I need to tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Vorthree's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend, Kai Nuz, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after, and that was that.
Right. Then up to the elevator. Oh, also with this mount, every time the wings like flap, my controller rumbles. And there's like just a slight little rumble as I glide. It's a nice touch. Feels cool. Up, brand up, brand up. We go. Boy, that's a tall elevator. Whoop. Hello, Alphinaud.
So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he?
Yeah.
I see. Kaisha and I gleaned much the same. He seemed determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Kalusia, and the only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up with him.
Indeed. Kindness! Your wife's very worried. What's up with that music?
Genosia, Alphinaud, Kaisha, what are you doing here?
I might ask you the same, Master Kai. We've been looking all over for you.
Looking for me? Whatever for?
Lady Kai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side.
What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. And when she gets an idea into her head, I can only apologize.
No harm done, Master Kai. But since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from the nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office?
Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Kalusia, that much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor.
I see. And you believe said resources can be found here?
Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me.
With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Kai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing.
We believe in you, Master Kai. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you? You've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gulg, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You're going to steer Yulmore to a better future. I know it. And I want to help. Properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is.
You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us pass on together.
Thank you, Master Kai, he says, staring at Alphino.
But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive.
Who is this man, exactly? And are you certain he's here in Amity?
Rendon is his name, and yes, he is. Or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vorthri's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was the left, and between them, they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him.
But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristol, then. As I recall, you made rather a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us.
Well, I'm sure he would. But also, I feel like the guy refused out of hand because he was advisor to Vorthri's father, and look how Vorthri turned out, and look how Yulmore turned out, and he's probably like, I don't want anything to do with that anymore. No, thank you. Nope.
That's my thoughts. Greetings, friend, and to you too, Master Kai. I presume you are here to ask after Rendon. I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange.
Yes, well, with Vorthri gone, Yulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendon's counsel in the hope that we could build a better Yulmore together, and that is still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help.
Worry not, Master Kai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Vorthri's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying, he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Kai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change.
The resolve to change?
I believe he was heading towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions.
Very well. To Pit 8 we go. We shall go. And I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe.
Well, just a little to the north. Yo! Scree! Exactly. Exactly, game. Scree. Brendan? Hello?
Well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens. Though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vorthri's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Yeah?
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vorthri. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthri was creating. And so I left my homeland behind.
Yeah.
But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthri's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
I'm sure there's some problem you could solve with your entrepreneurial knowledge. Especially getting businesses up and running again.
Ahem. Right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing.
Ah, yes. Meal being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void.
And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My. Think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes. It began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the peoples of Yulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Kainus. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Rendon. And one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as heir to the Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all.
Wait, why are you looking at me? Wait, hold up. You want me to build more Talos for you? I already built a small one for a trolley system, and I helped you build the giant mountain-sized one. Now what do you want, man? Finding good help. Kainus' look of steely determination is only slightly undermined by the knocking of his knees.
Rendon is quite right. Building Talos from scratch will require time we simply do not have, which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Kalusia.
Yes.
They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rung. Come with me.
Right. Well, I think we will continue this next time on Final Fantasy XIV. We're rebuilding Yulmore now. Let's see, finding good help. Yeah, that's third to last quest of 5.1. And there's, so that means we've gone through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We completed 7 quests. Not bad. And that includes a dungeon, so. Yeah. 5.2 also has a dungeon, but that's towards the end of 5.2. And then 5.3 has a dungeon in the middle, along with a boss fight, looks like. Yeah, it looks like there's a dungeon in each of the patches. Except for maybe patch 5.55. We're chugging along, making our way towards Endwalker. And our sage is now level 80 and a half. Ugh. So I do need to work on leveling Reaper. Reaper needs 4 more levels. so we can complete the melee DPS role quest line. Just because I kind of want to. I don't think I need to, but why not? And yeah, we're working on getting our friends home. We're coming up with plans using white auracite to just shove their souls into it, pop it back into their bodies once I take them there. Yeah. Well, like I said, that'll be it for today. Let's see. Monday is New Year's, so I will probably be streaming some things then. I'll definitely be streaming some more old school RuneScape leagues on a Monday, and then on Wednesday I'm thinking about streaming Unguard, because it looks like a lot of fun. And then should be back here next Saturday. Yeah, I don't think we got anything. Yep, next Saturday we'll be continuing this trek through post Shadowbringers. At any rate, I'll see you next mission. Bye-bye.